Angel Reese traded to the Atlanta Dream, as you guys know. Jeff Pagliuca couldn't wait to send her packing. See ya. In fact, reports are coming out that Jeff Pagliuca was so excited about sending Angel Reese to Atlanta, he personally packed her bags. Don't lift a hand, Miss Reese. I got this for you. Hey, you need a car too? Hey, taxi. Picked up her luggage, threw it in the backseat of a taxi, said, hasta la vista, baby.
The Chicago Sky recently executed a surprising move that has sent shockwaves through the league, yielding astonishing results. Ticket sales for the franchise are currently skyrocketing to unprecedented levels, a direct consequence of one particular player's departure. Angel Reese, whose tenure in Chicago was frequently marred by considerable tension, public drama, and persistent locker room issues, has now transitioned to the Atlanta Dream, sparking widespread celebration among the Sky's fan base. This remarkable turnaround begs the question, how can the absence of a single individual so profoundly revitalize a team's spirit and ignite fan excitement literally overnight, potentially holding the key to a complete Sky resurgence?
Angel Reese boldly and competitively called out the Chicago Sky for how they would move forward in terms of needing talent if they were going to compete, saying that she wanted to be a part of the organization and she wanted to compete at a high level. It didn't go over so well, Jay, in the public eye domain, at least as far as Chicago brass was concerned, and she actually ended up being suspended for a half a game. There seemed to be sort of breadcrumbs that perhaps this organization was not prepared for her vocalness and her.
The immediate aftermath of Angel Reese's departure from the Chicago Sky triggered an extraordinary shift, a phenomenon far beyond what mere statistics could fully capture. Ticket purchases for the Sky didn't just experience a modest increase, they dramatically soared, akin to a rocket breaking free from Earth's atmosphere. This sudden surge left both dedicated fans and seasoned analysts alike bewildered, struggling to comprehend how a team could instantly become a hotter commodity simply by removing one player from its roster.
That's me to believe that the Chicago Bravado traded Angel Reese because they were not ready for her star power. The Bravado traded the matriarch of Me Bounce because she was too famous? Are you starting to understand why I refer to Monica McNutt as a pretend analyst? And look, in her defense, she is not the only one today at the worldwide leader in woke who's trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
During her time in Chicago, Angel Reese had never quite managed to win over the local fan base. Whispers circulating within the team's locker room and across various online platforms painted a consistent picture of an athlete whose challenging attitude often overshadowed her considerable talent. Many accounts suggested she possessed a self-perception of being larger than the entire WNBA, describing her as a personality too dominant, too disruptive, and too polarizing to seamlessly integrate into a team that was striving for genuine cohesion and unity.
Chicago Sky said, we just don't want to deal with the headache. We don't care. We don't want her here. She's been a locker room cancer from the jump. Quits the first year, quits the second year, fakes a back in my neck, my back, fakes a back injury, doesn't even finish her first season of Unrivaled, can't be bothered with her second season, so she just comes in late. It's being reported that the Chicago Sky said, we need to get her out of here. Angel Reese did not request a trade. The Chicago Sky said, we just don't want her on our team.
The trade that sent her to the Atlanta Dream, reportedly finalized with remarkable speed and efficiency, was notably not initiated by Angel herself. She didn't demand a transfer from general manager Jeff Pagliuca, nor did she threaten any legal action or refuse to play. Instead, it was the Chicago organization that ultimately concluded the ongoing challenges associated with her presence simply outweighed her on-court abilities.
Do we see the first signs of cracks in the foundation? Some of them players looking around, they're like, we're free agents. Holla at you. I'm going to go play somewhere else. Where newly acquired teammates didn't just light a fire. The Chicago Sky locker room, I'm going to tell you right now, Chicago Sky win.
Following additional games won the previous year, insider sources indicate that Pagliuca himself was instrumental in her swift exit, orchestrating a scene so starkly definitive it could have been lifted from a sports film script. Her belongings were unceremoniously loaded into a waiting taxi. Doors abruptly closed, and Angel departed Chicago with hardly a backward glance. The message conveyed was unmistakably clear. Her presence was no longer desired, and her prompt departure was unequivocally preferred. Angel's entire stint in Chicago had been plagued by friction from its very inception, with suggestions she struggled with consistent effort, reportedly quitting early in her first season, fabricating injuries and arriving late in her second, constantly leaving coaches and teammates in disarray. Her sophomore year culminated in visible frustration from key players such as Isabel Harrison and Dana Evans, some reportedly shedding tears during press conferences, highlighting the deep rift between Reese and the team's cultural fabric. The sheer influence one player could exert even in her absence, dramatically reshaping a franchise's energy, seemed almost contradictory. Yet, as ticket sales skyrocketed and season packages were rapidly snapped up, the undeniable evidence materialized in the numbers. Chicago had discovered a renewed vitality by eliminating a persistent source of internal conflict. Social media responses ranged from profound relief to outright jubilation, with fans eagerly adopting new slogans like "Finally Peace in the Locker Room" and "Chicago's Glow Up Starts Now."
Chicago Sky GM Jeff Pagluccia is completely done with Angel Reese. He's looking to get rid of her. He had just made a statement. The Chicago Sky sent out a statement to Angel Reese, and I'm pretty sure she wants out as well. I mean, she refused to play in games last season. She pretty much quit on the team, and none of the current players want anything to do with her. We remember Angel Reese's mysterious back injury the last few games of the season, where she basically refused to get in the games upon being suspended by the league and the team. The team suspended her for a first half, and then she refused to enter the game the second half.
The transaction itself was both decisive and unusually structured. While Angel had expressed preferences for her next destination, with Atlanta ranking highly due to its reputation for strong coaching and a vibrant urban environment, it became evident that the Sky were exceedingly eager to facilitate her move, making minimal demands in return. This scenario stands as a rare instance of a team so desperate to part ways with a player that they openly prioritized fostering a healthier team culture over acquiring valuable assets. Analysts typically observe that trades involve intricate negotiations, strategic leverage, and meticulous planning, but in this particular case, Chicago appeared almost keen to simply offload what they perceived as a significant problem. This deviation from standard sports calculus was a clear example of addition by subtraction, a calculated maneuver aimed at restoring internal harmony rather than accumulating new talent. The positive effects reverberated throughout the team immediately. With Angel no longer present, remaining players reportedly conveyed a profound sense of relief and a newfound liberty to rebuild team chemistry, liberated from constant underlying tension. Even media narratives underwent a dramatic transformation. Analysts who had previously depicted Chicago as a team burdened by internal strife began emphasizing the organization's clear strategic vision. Coverage shifted from speculative reports about locker room disputes to optimistic anticipation of how the team's newly configured roster would perform. Sports talk shows, social media platforms, and podcasts buzzed with a unified message: a franchise that clearly understands its objectives and isn't afraid to make difficult decisions can fundamentally alter public perception in an instant.
Chicago Sky getting dogged out, of course they are, because their little darling, Angel Reese, who, by the way, still got me blocked because she can't handle the smoke. My God, 90% of the players in this league, y'all wanted all this attention, and then when you got it, and you got some criticism, you couldn't handle it. Come on. Really? Fine. All right. Good. But guess what? I can still tell you didn't say a damn thing to the Chicago Sky fans. Nothing. The Chicago Sky fan base has heard nothing from Angel Reese.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese's transfer to Atlanta introduced its own layer of fascination and complexity. She joined a team eager to harness her undeniable talent, yet simultaneously conscious of the behavioral patterns that had shadowed her in Chicago. Discussions within Atlanta have presented a blend of hopeful excitement and cautious anticipation, with both fans and analysts pondering how her distinct personality and playing style will integrate into the Dream's existing culture. While Chicago celebrated its newfound tranquility, Atlanta braced itself for the challenge of integrating a player possessing formidable skills, but also a history of disrupting locker room dynamics. The irony is not lost on the broader WNBA community. A player some critics had labeled too big for the league, and a locker room cancer had, perhaps inadvertently, sparked the rejuvenation of her former team, the Sky. The critical questions now are whether the Chicago team can translate this restored harmony into tangible on-court victories. and if the ongoing roster revamp will genuinely position the Sky as a formidable contender, or if Angel's absence might inadvertently expose unforeseen performance gaps. Concurrently, fans continue to delight in the psychological triumph of finally witnessing their team liberated from internal discord, enthusiastically celebrating every new player acquisition and strategic adjustment as part of a larger evolving redemption narrative. Angel Reese, now a member of the Atlanta Dream, faces her own defining test. No longer the central figure in a contentious Chicago locker room, she now bears the weight of twin expectations: to perform at a high level and to seamlessly integrate into her new team environment.
Angel Reese was drafted to the Chicago Sky with the 7th overall pick back in 2024. The Chicago Sky are kind of like that nail salon in your city that used to have a ton of hype. Like, all the influencer girlies went there, all the celebrity girlies went there. It was going viral every other week. They did all the designs, they had all the best techs, and then they just fell off out of nowhere. Because what was once a championship organization quickly became a mess, truly. But 2 of the baddest girls in your city start going to this nail salon, and it seems like there's hope again that this place might be back on the come up. How do you bring the baddies back into the nail salon? Well, you hire an amazing nail tech that gets the shape right every single time, the design.
Chicago's chosen strategy, despite its seemingly unorthodox nature, powerfully highlights a fundamental principle in professional sports. True success is not solely quantifiable by individual statistics or the allure of star power, but rather by the strength of team cohesion, a positive culture, and an environment that empowers all players to collectively flourish. The bold decision to part ways with Angel Reese, dramatic though it certainly was, unmistakably demonstrated the organization's unwavering commitment to prioritizing internal harmony and strategic clarity over individual egos. This move has been tangibly rewarded by the fan base through surging ticket sales, reinvigorated engagement, and a palpable sense of optimism for the upcoming season. Beyond the mere numerical indicators, the profound cultural transformation within the Sky is undeniable and has garnered significant attention across the entire WNBA community. Commentary frequently contrasts Chicago's proactive approach with that of other teams who often cling to talent despite the presence of destructive internal dynamics, underscoring the frequently overlooked importance of personality alignment, leadership consistency, and a strong team culture in achieving sustained professional sporting success. Analysts are now suggesting this strategic shift could profoundly influence how franchises approach roster management in the future, positioning the active elimination of internal friction as a legitimate forward-thinking strategy for both on-court performance and commercial prosperity. As the new season unfolds, the long-term impact of Angel Reese's departure will continue to serve as a crucial benchmark. Whether ticket sales maintain their elevated trajectory, fan engagement continues to surge, and ultimately, whether team performance truly validates the Sky's courageous gamble on culture over a high-profile talent remains to be seen.
The season to end and her to immediately be twerking on a private jet they thought her back was hurting on her way to Vegas to party. Angel Reese flat out quit on this team. She threw her teammates under the bus. Ariel Atkins, who sat at the podium and defended Angel Reese earlier in the season. Ariel Atkins don't want nothing to do with Angel Reese and his team. She don't want nothing to do with this. She threw Courtney Vandersloot under the bus, talking about we need a younger point guard. She's old, yada, yada, yada. Just for Courtney Vandersloot to have to get on camera and take shots back.
Meanwhile, the unfolding story in Chicago offers a compelling lesson in strategic courage, illustrating that sometimes releasing a contentious star player is the most direct route to revitalizing a franchise, reigniting fan enthusiasm, and ultimately achieving team success. Angel Reese's legacy in Chicago will forever be complex, a player of immense talent whose presence coincided with profound internal turmoil and whose departure paradoxically sparked widespread celebration. Yet through this dramatic narrative, the Sky have not emerged diminished, but rather profoundly invigorated, providing a vivid and powerful example of how professional sports, team culture, and fan sentiment intricately intersect in ways that are as captivating as they are consequential. As the WNBA season progresses, Chicago's dedicated fans are no longer mere spectators. They are active participants in a compelling revival story, one written not solely through player acquisitions or trades, but through the understated yet potent power of strategically removing elements that no longer serve the collective good. The public perception of the Sky has shifted with remarkable speed, mirroring the rapid increase in ticket sales. Social media buzz is no longer just about the general excitement of a new season. The once subdued interest in season tickets has transformed into an undeniable frenzy. Fans appear genuinely eager to witness this new era, an era where collaboration and team chemistry take undisputed center stage, and where the Chicago Sky can finally be defined by authentic skill and collective achievement rather than individual spectacle.
Like the Angel Reese fit in Atlanta on paper. Huge trade out of the WNBA. Atlanta acquires Angel Reese. She's headed to the Dream. The Chicago Sky get the Dream's 2027 first-round pick, 2028 first-round pick, and Angel's tenure with the Sky ends after just 2 seasons. She made the critical comments, which obviously got her in trouble with the franchise. But when you look at her fit in Atlanta, assuming they can keep the rest of that roster intact.
Crucially, the Chicago Sky did not have to surrender any significant assets to facilitate this change. Behind the scenes, dedicated executives and coaching staff have been working relentlessly to fully capitalize on the unique opportunity that Angel Reese's departure presented. Chicago's management has meticulously restructured the roster, prioritizing the acquisition of complementary players who not only bring valuable skills but also seamlessly align with the team's revitalized culture and core values. Previously earmarked draft picks, once considered for high-profile acquisitions, have instead been strategically utilized to protect existing core talent and ensure the team maintains its foundational stability while thoughtfully integrating new additions. The organization appears firmly committed to demonstrating that this isn't merely a temporary solution, but a fundamental, enduring shift designed to cultivate sustainable success, both on the basketball court and within the stands. Concurrently, the evolving narrative surrounding Angel Reese in Atlanta adds an intriguing layer of irony to this entire saga. While the Sky celebrate renewed harmony and unity, Reese finds herself entering a team where her presence is simultaneously perceived as both a valuable asset and a potential challenge. Analysts remain divided, with some suggesting her intense competitive drive could elevate the dream, while others express concerns about how Atlanta will successfully integrate her without repeating the organizational mistakes that plagued the Sky. This stark contrast powerfully underscores just how profoundly impactful one player's presence or absence can be on both team culture and public perception. Chicago's fans, however, are undeniably basking in the tangible benefits of Reese's exit. The dramatic surge in ticket sales is far more than mere symbolism. It represents a profound, renewed confidence in the team's trajectory, and a genuine willingness to invest in a game day experience that now feels emotionally gratifying and genuinely hopeful.
So Angel Reese is jumping ship already after only 2 seasons with the Chicago Sky getting traded to the Atlanta Dream. So in college, she had to jump ship from Maryland to LSU, a more stacked team, to win her weak college championship. Got drafted to the pros, realized she ain't that good amongst the pros, led the Chicago Sky to 2 of their worst seasons in franchise history. Quit on the Chicago Sky each season, faking an injury, threw her teammates under the bus multiple times, got teaspoon fired because she wanted to try to do her little.
Each sold-out seat now serves as a powerful declaration, a clear, albeit small statement, that fans wholeheartedly endorse the organization's deliberate choice to prioritize an improved team culture and cohesive unit over raw individual talent that brought with it substantial baggage. An almost palpable celebratory energy now permeates the arena, fostering a collective sense that every individual, from the players on the court to the management in the front office and the cheering fans in the stands, is finally moving in synchronized direction. Even the media coverage unequivocally mirrors this significant shift. Sports commentators, who once fixated on locker room strife and individual player drama, are now consistently highlighting the Sky's clear strategic vision and their promising potential for a genuine breakthrough season. Podcasts, fan-operated channels, and various sports news segments consistently emphasize Chicago's forward-thinking approach, presenting the franchise as a compelling model for how to navigate and resolve internal conflict with both professionalism and pragmatism. Analysts frequently point out that in the intensely competitive world of professional sports, sheer talent rarely guarantees success on its own. Instead, it is the intricate interplay of culture, team chemistry, and the astute ability to manage diverse personalities and strong leadership that ultimately determines long-term achievement. Local businesses situated around the arena are also reporting a noticeable surge in traffic on game nights, and the city itself seems to experience a subtle yet profound uplift as Chicagoans collectively rally behind a team that, following years of internal discord, finally feels genuinely coherent and purposefully united. Fans now possess a compelling narrative to emotionally invest in, one where internal drama has been decisively replaced with an infectious optimism, and where every upcoming game carries the exhilarating thrill of potentially witnessing a team fully realizing its long-dormant potential.
Of course, it's also a big, star attraction for Atlanta. They instantly become one of the marquee franchises in the league with Angel's presence and with those other players that I just mentioned. That's a lot of all-stars in Atlanta. And Angel now surrounded by a team where she better get things done. Like, there's no excuses now. Like, she gotta impact winning with the dream because she's got the personnel around her to do it. This is the announcement from the Sky. Thank you, Angel Reese. As you see here, the trade, 2027 first rounder, 2028 first rounder. So no players. I guess the free agency thing impacts that, obviously, because there's not many players under contract.
Simultaneously, Angel Reese's ongoing legacy in Chicago continues to be a topic of fervent discussion. Was she primarily a victim of challenging circumstances, or was she undeniably a catalyst for discord? Observers universally acknowledge that individual talent alone does not fully define a player's overall contribution to a franchise. How seamlessly one integrates into and contributes to a team's established culture is an equally, if not more, critical factor. The Chicago Sky's swift and remarkable turnaround in both public perception and fan engagement powerfully underscores the fact that strategically removing a disruptive element can prove to be just as invaluable, if not more so, than acquiring a new superstar. This dynamic is now generating significant conversation across the entire league, prompting other teams to critically reevaluate the delicate balance between skill, individual personality, and cultural fit when meticulously managing their rosters. The Sky have masterfully transformed what could have easily been a detrimental moment into a powerful springboard for renewal, and their dedicated fan base has responded with overwhelming enthusiasm, renewed energy, and a profound sense of pride in their team. The upcoming season promises to be one of the most closely monitored in recent WNBA history, with Chicago fans eagerly anticipating whether the newfound harmony, heightened cohesion, and palpable excitement generated by Angel Reese's departure will ultimately translate into consistent wins, indelible memorable moments, and perhaps even forge a lasting legacy that fundamentally redefines the franchise for many years to come. The Chicago Sky's compelling story is no longer centered on conflict or pervasive drama. Instead, it has transformed into a powerful narrative of profound transformation, unwavering resilience, and the quiet yet potent strength of strategic subtraction, a narrative that resonates far beyond the confines of the arena itself, serving as a poignant reminder to everyone involved in sports that sometimes the most truly valuable addition is the courageous act of letting go of what no longer serves the collective good,